first one is some Chrono Odyssey. As you guys know, I've been trying to follow Chrono Odyssey a bit here. It's going to be a game that I hopefully get to play. I signed up for the closed beta. We should hear about that, I think, tomorrow. So that's super cool. I'm really excited. And we got some news from Kanon. You know Kanon, I know Kanon, everybody knows Kanon. He got a chance to sit down with the Chrono Odyssey lead dev and ask some questions pertaining to pay to win. And I know as a BDO player, right, it's a pretty big subject for us. So let's see what it's about. I already know the answer. I'm sure a lot of you guys know the answer already, but I'm really curious about how the stuff is worded and said, because I guess a bit of context. In Black Desert Online, when it first launched in the West, it was published by, you guessed it, Kakao. They were called Down back then, but it was Kakao, and renamed Kakao later. So we have a bit of experience with Kakao for publishing games, right? And when Black Desert Online came out in the West, they said, and I quote this, "There will be no pay to win in Black Desert Online in the Western release, or in the Western launch." I think that was the word. There will be no pay to win elements in Black Desert Online in the Western release, in the Western launch. That meant that a lot of people were very confused when they started adding the pay to win elements a few months later. And the explanation was that, well, guys, we said there was going to be no pay to win at the launch. So wording is very important, especially from Kakao, right? I know this is the lead dev. He's not the Kakao guy. He's the Chrono Odyssey guy. But I'm just saying, right? Fool me once. So yeah. There weren't any pay to win at launch. So I really want to see this. I really want to hear what they're saying. I do have a good feeling about this, because it's, number one, it's the dev guy talking about it, and coming out in this way here, like, it's gonna backfire so hard if they start sneaking it over time. But it is gaming in current year, so like, expect it, right?
Chrono Odyssey gonna be pay to win. It almost seems like everything is riding on this very simple question. So what did I do? I decided to go to the Chrono studio in person and ask the man in charge directly that very question. Kind of like how I did with NCSoft.
Wait, sorry, let me read this here. There are so many people that think it's completely pay to win game. It's a garbage game. Okay.
Soft. Only this one was an actual one-on-one sit-down interview rather than a group Q&A. But yeah, I literally hit them up asking if I could interview the man in charge, and he said okay. No angles, no requirements, just an honest Q&A, and I was allowed to ask anything I wanted. So I did. I
That's a good sign. Okay.
30-ish questions in person, including the all-important question about pay to win. This video is going to deliver you the official stance on pay to win that the Chrono team has, and if you'd like to hear the entire Q&A, be sure to sub to the channel, because the full interview will be published on my YouTube channel very soon. I do want to add one little thing before we begin. Due to the time constraints and translators having to be involved, it was best for us to have a script of questions, which I wrote, of course, and read off it to save time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had time to get all the questions in. Having a
I mean, it's totally normal. It's understandable as well. They also, sometimes when you ask questions, like, they might need to check up on stuff and make sure they're giving the correct answer with the current iteration of the game and everything, right? Even though he's the lead dev, right? There might be some stuff where he needs to check with the team and hear, oh, is this how we're doing this and that, right? So totally understandable to get like early access, or like early questions, and also so you can prep for it, so speed it up. Like, nothing crazy about that, but good on Kanon for disclosing that for sure.
Script allowed me to ask the question and not have to waste time translating it back to him. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming a lot of Chrono content. Let's begin. Let's address the elephant in the room, the monetization. I'm going to tell you what every Western MMO player is thinking and wondering. Every single Korean company has a terrible reputation when it comes to monetization in the West due to the fact that every single Korean MMO has some form of pay to win. I personally went to NCSoft last year and told the lead at Throne that the overwhelming majority of Westerners saw the game as pay to win trash, and if they would consider changing it for the global audience. His answer was that they felt like the pay to win elements in Throne were fair. Give it to us directly. We're all adults here. Is Chrono Odyssey going to be pay to win?
걱정하지 않으셔도 됩니다. 저희 크로노 오디세이는 페이 투 윈이 절대 없습니다.
Okay, that's very direct. Absolutely no pay to win. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
공정한 환경을 유지하기 위해서 가장 중요한 가치로
Sorry, I'll read this up. I'll read this up for you guys. I'll translate Chrono pay to win.
걱정하지 않으셔도 됩니다.
There is no need for concern.
저희 크로노 오디세이는
There will be absolutely no pay to win in Chrono Odyssey.
페이 투 윈이 절대 없습니다. 공정한
In order to maintain a strong commitment to fairness,
환경을 유지하기 위해서 가장
this is one of our highest priorities.
중요한 가치로 삼고 있습니다. 현재는 코스튬
Our current business model is focusing on costumes and cosmetics focused items. I mean, yeah. The problem is, okay. So like, this sounds. He's coming out very strong, say like no pay to win, right? But like I can think of one game that's also heavily focused around cosmetic items in the monetization. It just so happens that you can use those cosmetics to turn into some resource that then can help you with gearing and things like that, right? So, yeah. I'm sorry, like I'm very skeptical about anything like this, right?
BM은 설계되어 있고요. 유저가 신뢰할 수 있는 구조를
Building a structure that players can trust is a core priority. That's a good sign, right? That's a good sign. So it is possible. It can be done. Also, it is possible to make a lot of money with that stuff, right? Again, League of Legends is the primary example of this. You can still make money. I think what's it called? Path of Exile. There you go. Path of Exile. Yeah. Path of Exile, like they make good money as well, right? And they have some stuff like some quality of life things, some inventories and stuff like that, but no, as far as I'm aware, like pay to win elements to it. So it is completely possible.
만드는 것이 저희들의 가장 중요한 우선순위입니다.
What exactly is the monetization going to be then for Chrono Odyssey? You mentioned just selling cosmetics, or is there anything more to that?
비즈니스 모델은 크로노의 비즈니스 모델은 장비의 외형 변경을 하기 위한 코스튬, 그리고 탈 것에 대한 코스튬, 그리고 일부 배틀 패스에 대한
Wait. And sorry, I forgot to try. Let me go back here. That was I didn't like the sound of that.
장비의
So the Chrono Odyssey business model, costumes used to change the appearance of equipment,
외형 변경을 하기 위한 코스튬, 그리고
as well as mount cosmetics,
탈 것에 대한 코스튬, 그리고
and a limited range of content offered through a battle pass system. Well, that's the thing, right? It says a range of content. If that was like some specific cosmetics or things like that in a battle pass, hell yeah. But I'm curious what they mean with a limited range of content offered through a battle pass. And maybe it's just my pessimistic view with monetization that gets me a bit worried, right? That could mean anything. It could be, yeah, like that's the thing. It could be stuff that allows you to get gear as well. It could be more dungeon runs. It could be unique dungeons. It could be stuff that will give you resources, give you stuff for biz and pay-to-win dungeons, right? Now, with the way he's been like talking very direct about this from the get-go, Like straight up, no pay to win. It's not like he doesn't understand what pay to win means, right? He got the questions beforehand. I doubt they're gonna be doing something like that, because that's an obvious pay to win, right? You lock some content behind monetization that gives you power and stuff. That's obvious pay to win. So hopefully it's not gonna be something like that.
일부 배틀 패스에 대한 것들만
Is what we're taking into consideration right now.
고려하고 있습니다.
You say no pay to win. So I just want to double check and confirm here, because no pay to win, I've seen a lot of loopholes.
Yep. Canon knows, man. Canon knows.
That these companies will try to, they'll try and say there's no pay to win, but in reality, there's some kind of currency that you can buy that eventually leads to pay to win.
Canon is on point with these questions, man. This is somebody that's been playing MMOs for a long time and seen games do this time and time again.
So you're confirming that there is no pay to win straight up, and the only monetization is pretty much what you've explained before?
네, 없습니다. 코스튬이
Sorry, let me get that line again here. There is no pay to win.
있습니다. 코스튬이나
Aside from social-oriented content. Oh, okay, so like costumes, emotes, or cosmetics good. So here he's reiterating the meaning of content that we talked about just before, right? Social-oriented content. So to him, content includes costumes, emotes, or cosmetics goods, right? It's not necessarily playable content.
이모션 같은 어떤 소셜에 관련된 내용이나 치장성 상품 외에는 어떠한
We're not planning on selling items that will disrupt the balance of the game.
그 밸런스에 영향을 주는 BM 상품도 고려하지 않고 있습니다.
There's going to be a lot of people who will be insanely happy hearing this, but there's also going to be a lot of people that are just not going to believe what you're saying until they see it. Mainly because there have been many companies that have said there was going to be no pay to win, but
I mean, don't believe anything until you see it, right? That's just the way it is with gaming.
Ended up adding it later. What do you say to those who don't believe?
다시 한번 말씀드리지만 크로노 오디세이에는
I'll say it again. Chrono Odyssey will never have pay to win elements. That's as direct as it gets, man. That's crazy. Just coming out and saying it like that. Okay, that's right. If they do anything, man, it's over, man. He's tripling down. Yeah, he is. And like again, kudos to Canon for like digging into this and not just accepting like the general answer. He's like, Canon is asking all the right questions. That's crazy. Okay. There's a bit more information. Thank you so much, Collect. I'll do that. I saw that as well, Motri, yeah.
페이 투 윈 요소는 절대 없을 것입니다. 게임의
There will be no items that will affect the gameplay balance of the game.
밸런스에 영향을 미치는 그 어떤 상품도 없을 것입니다.
Now, to be fair, Chrono Studios is a brand new player in the space, and it is its own entity, not run or owned by any other company, which, by the way, is a big misconception.
Yeah.
From my understanding,
a lot of people think that Cacao Games is like basically making the game, or owns the company or something. They're just publishing, as far as I'm aware.
This is a brand new team working with a new Cacao publishing team. And I feel like this is important context for people, and I want to make sure that this...
It goes back to what I talked about at the start, right? With Cacao and BDO. Ugh. Yeah. And also historically, lots of other games as well. Cacao don't have the best rep. They got a terrible rep.
Information is correct. Is that correct? The Chrono team, the Chrono Studios, is its own entity, and it is not a subsidiary of a different company?
네, 맞습니다. 저도 이런...
That is correct. It is not, right? I've seen and received so many comments and questions regarding this. I think I need to make this point clear.
댓글이나 질문들을 너무 많이 받아서 확실하게 좀 이야기를 해야 될 것 같은데요. 크로노 오디세이
Chrono Odyssey is not... Oh, of NPixel! Oh, wait, this is interesting. But, okay, so we talked about this in the past, right? When it first came out. And we Googled it. And it did say, at least when we tried to Google it, that it was a subsidiary. It was part of NPixel. Right? So Interesting. InPixel, by the way, have done some mobile games, I believe. Okay, so it's not interesting.
는 엠픽셀과 엠픽셀의 자회사가 아닐 뿐더러 엠픽셀과
We're an independent company completely separate from InPixel
독립된 회사로서 지금 진행
and already developed as such. Then where does the connection come from? Like I would wish you would like at least say that, right? Because there is like obviously there's something with InPixel.
개발을 진행하고 있고요. 다시 한번
Once again, let me reiterate.
저희는 엠픽셀의 자회사는
We are not a subsidiary of InPixel.
아니고 크로노 스튜디오
We are a new established company called Chrono Studio, a separate and completely independent legal entity.
로 완전 분리되어 있는 독립된 법인으로 만들어진 새로운 기업이고요. 어떠한
I want to take this opportunity to once again clear the state we have no connection whatsoever to InPixel.
엠픽셀과의 연관성이 없다라는 점을 이 자리를 빌어서 한 번 더 말씀드리겠습니다.
Well, I genuinely hope that Chrono Studio sets the new standard for these MMORPGs that are coming up. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I had about 30 questions or so that I asked the producer here. So if you guys want to check out the full video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You're not going to want to miss out because definitely asking a lot of the questions I know you guys want the answers to. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitch and I will see you guys in the next video.
Hell yeah. What a great video. What a great video. And yeah, we'll be checking a lot more out about this game. I signed up for the closed beta. Hopefully I get a key. We're going to be playing it. It's going to be the first of all any of these MMOs coming out that I'm actually going to try out. And like, I want to see it at this point, right? Is it fun? And is the combat good? Is the gameplay loop good? There's only one way to find out. You can hear as many interviews as you want. You can see as many pre-rendered videos and gameplay footage as they can throw at you. Until you try it out, you won't really know, right? We've seen it time and time again. Like videos come out, oh, game looks amazing, and then you play it like, huh? The hell is that? So yeah, shout out to Canon. Give him a sub, all that stuff. W video, link description, all of it. I'm kind of excited. This was a lot better than I expected. I did come into this video and this interview kind of skeptical, but yeah, like that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.